We continue now at the top of Daf Memches Amud Beis in Meseches Eruvin. This is Eruvin Daf 48b. The Gemara was talking about Rabbi Shimon's case in the Mishnah. Rabbi Shimon had said that let's say you have three chatzeros and the middle chatzer makes an eruv with the outer ones, so the middle one will be permitted to carry back and forth with the outer ones, but the outer ones are not permitted with one another. So the Gemara had asked, how does this case even work? Because if everybody put an eruv in the middle like a normal eruv, so then they're all merged together as one. That's how an eruv works. How are you going to have a situation where a middle chatzer only makes an eruv independently, like two separate eruvs with the outer chatzeros? So Rav Yehuda had answered that the case is they're not all putting the eruv in the middle chatzer. Actually, the guy in the middle is making two separate eruvs. He's putting a little food in one outer chatzer, putting a little food in the other outer chatzer, so it's like two separate eruvs. And now Rav Sheshes, he's going to give another answer. Rav Sheshes says as follows: B'shnei batim. The eruvs put in the middle, but in two separate houses, meaning each guy on the outside takes a piece of food and puts it into the middle chatzer, but in a different house. Rashi here says B'shnei batim dehashda lo mechabron chitzonos bahadadi. Once they do that, so the outer chatzeros are attached to the guy in the middle, but they're not attached to one another. So to that answer, the Gemara says, Keman. Who does that answer follow? Beis Shammai. That seems to follow Beis Shammai. The Tanya, because we learned in a Brisa, Chamisha shegavu es Eruvin. Let's say you have 5 people that collect the food to make their Eruv. Unisanu b'shnei kelim. And they place the food into 2 separate vessels. Beis Shammai omrim ein Eruvin Eruv. Beis Shammai say that's not a good Eruv. It's got to go into one kli. Beis Hillel omrim Eruvin Eruv. And Beis Hillel says it's a fine Eruv. So it seems to be the same thing over here. They put it in 2 separate houses. So according to Beis Hillel, it should be perfectly fine. What kind of answer is this? So the Gemara says, "Afilu tema Beis Hillel." You could even say Rav Sheshes follows Beis Hillel. Adkan lo kamri Beis Hillel hasam ella b'shnei kelim. Beis Hillel was only strict when you're putting it into. Beis Hillel was only lenient rather when you're putting it into 2 vessels. B'bayis but it's all in one house. Aval b'shnei batim lo. But if you put it in 2 separate houses, he would never be so lenient, and therefore it actually would be a problem. It would be considered 2 separate eruvin, and the people on the outside cannot carry from one chutzner to the other. So the Gemara says, Amar le Ravacha, Breder Rav Avi Rav Ashi. Ravacha, the son of Rav Avi, said to Rav Ashi as follows: Rav Yehuda kasha, ul Rav Sheshes kasha. According to Rav Yehuda, his answer doesn't make sense, and Rav Sheshes' answer also doesn't make sense. Rav Yehuda kasha, according to Rav Yehuda, again, Rav Yehuda said that the case is the guy in the middle places some food in each of the outside chatzeros. So the guy in the middle puts some food for an eruv on the chatzer on his left, and he puts some food on his chatzer on his right. So that doesn't make any sense. Damar kagon shenosnem, so I say ruva bazu ve'ruva bazu. If the case is where the guy in the middle put the eruv in this one and in that one, v'kevon de irva emtsois bahade chitzona. But once, let's say, the guy in the middle puts an eruv on the left, havalei chada, he becomes one with the guy on the left. V'chihadra v'arva bahade idach, and now when he puts an eruv in the guy on the right, shlichusa avda, he's doing a shlichus for the guy on the left, meaning he's been merged with the left, and now he's merging himself and the guy on the left with the guy on the right. So it should still be a totally good eruv. Everyone should be able to carry everywhere, according to Rav Yehuda. Ul Rav Sheshes kasha, and according to Rav Sheshes, it should also be difficult in the other direction. The eruv should be no good at all. To have a kechamisha sheshruyin b'chatzer achas, it should be no different than 5 people who all live in one chatzer. V'shakach echad mehen v'lo eruv, and one of them forgot and didn't join the eruv. Da'asri adadi, the whole thing gets messed up. Here also, if they're putting their eruvs, the 2 guys on the outside are putting their eruvs in different houses in the middle chatzer, that should be like somebody forgot to join up, and the whole thing should be messed up. Rashi here explains, Rav Sheshes kasha, kevan denasnu shteyan eruvin b'emtsois. If the 2 guys on the outside put their eruv in the middle, ha'eruv mevi diurein l'socha, so they're now as if they're living in the middle. V'havilu kilu darn kulan b'emtzai. So now you can consider it as if everybody lives in the middle chatzer. V'kevon de eruvon nasun b'shnei batim. Now, if everybody's living in the middle chatzer, but they put the eruvs in 2 separate houses, nimsa shelo irvu shtayim hachitzono zuim zu. It comes out that the 2 outer people, they never really made an eruv with one another. V'havik kachamisha sheshruin b'chatzer achas v'shokach echad men v'lo iruvim kulan yachad. It should be no different than you have 5 people living in a chatzer, and one of them forgot and didn't make the eruv with everybody together. The chatzer asura. The entire chutzner becomes problematic. The whole thing becomes usher. So according to Rav Sheshes, you have a kasha in the opposite direction, that the whole thing should be no good. So the Gemara answers, Amar le Rav Ashi. Rav Ashi said back to, again, this was Ravacha, the son of Rav Avi, had said to Rav Ashi this kasha. Rav Ashi now responds and he says, Lo le Rav Yehuda kasha, v'lo le Rav Sheshes kasha. There's no difficulty according to Rav Yehuda. There's no difficulty according to Rav Sheshes. Le Rav Yehuda lo kasha, according to Rav Yehuda, it's not difficult. Kevon de irvelo imtsois b'emtsois bahadi chitzona. Since the middle guy made an eruv with the outside, ushtayim chitzonas bahadi hadadi lo irvu, and the two outer ones never joined an eruv with one another. Gal yadaite devaha nichale uvahalo nichale. What he's showing is that, and this is not okay for him. In other words, he's actively showing that I want to make an eruv with the guy on my left, I want to make an eruv with the guy on my right, but these two are not making an eruv with one another. There is no shlichus here. He's showing that there's no shlichus that's happening at all. He's not doing a shlichus for the guy on the left to help the guy on the left make an eruv with the guy on the right. Well, the Rav Sheshes lokash, and according to Rav Sheshes, it's not difficult either. Im amru diyurin lahakil. If we say that you have a concept of eruv for leniency, yomru diyurin lahachmer, are we going to say the same thing for stringency? Rashi here explains, Im amru diyurin shel zu bazu al yedei eruv lahakil. The whole point of making an eruv is you say, even though you live over there, it's as if you live here. It's as if we're all together. So that's a leniency. La'atiron yachad. That makes us all one rishus in order to allow us to carry together. That's a leniency. Yomru sha eruv mevi hadiyurin l'socha kadei less or allow. Are we going to say now, though, that let's say the guy on the left, he brings his food in and he joins me, but he puts it in one house, and the guy on the right, he also brings his food in and he puts it in a different house. Is that going to make a prohibition? Hello, diary mamish bigavva. They're not actually living in these houses where the bread is. To liboye Eruvin b'bayis that we need the eruv to be in the same house. Hilkach, therefore, afagav dechitzonim lo irvu hadadi. Even though the outer ones didn't make an eruv with one another, chitzon v'emtzoi mia mitzdarfi, the people from the outside join with the people in the middle. V'lo asri hadadi. It's not going to create a prohibition. When we say that they move their eruv into a certain location in order to create as if they live there, it's not literally as if they live there to create problems. It's as if they live there in order to allow carrying. So over here, it's not going to be a problem. The eruv's going to be perfectly fine. And now the Gemara continues and says, Amar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav. Rav Yehuda says in the name of Rav, Zu Divrei Rabbi Shimon. This entire halacha is all the opinion of Rabbi Shimon. In other words, this halacha that the guy in the middle can carry with each one on the outside, but they can't carry with each other. Avol Chachamim Amar, the Chachamim say, Rishus Achas Meshameshes L'Shtei Rishuyos. One Rishus can function for two Rishuyos. Avol Lo Shtei Rishuyos Meshameshos L'Rishus Achas. But two Rishuyos can't function for one Rishus. Rashi explains what that means. Zu Divrei Rabbi Shimon, Dihi Muteres Imo and V'hei Nimo. Rabbi Shimon really is sort of a leniency. Rabbi Shimon is saying the people on the outside cannot carry to one another, but the guy in the middle can carry to each one on the outside, and they can carry to the middle. That leniency is only Rabbi Shimon's opinion. Avol Chachamim say the Loshna Nasnu Shteyen Eruvon B'emtsois Loshna Nasna Emtsois Eruva Bazu Uvazu Hi Asuri Imoin Vehein Mutar Nima. It doesn't make a difference where the eruvs are placed. They're allowed to carry their stuff to the middle, but the guy in the middle cannot carry to the outside. Why? Because Rishus Achas Mishameshes L'Shtei Rishuyas. Meaning, Kalim Shashavsu B'chitzonos. Any Kalim that started off Shabbos in the outer Chotzer, Mutaros B'emtsois, they can go into the middle. Hachitzonos lo irvu elo imzu, because the people on the outside only made an eruv with the guy in the middle. They made no other eruv. In other words, the guy on the left, he made an eruv with the middle. He becomes one with the middle, and he can carry his kalim to the middle. And the same thing the person on the other side. However, the guy in the middle cannot make an eruv, two eruvs, each with each outside. That doesn't work. If the people on the outside didn't make an eruv with one another, so they're not considered one rishus, they're two independent rishuyos. Ela Rishuyos Chalukos, saying there are two independent Rishuyos. The guy in the middle, therefore, can't use either one. This one pulls him in that direction. The other one pulls in the other direction. You can't give a person two different residences. He can't say, I'm making two eruvs, one to one side and one to the other side. It's as if you say, okay, you're part of the left side, but the left side didn't make an eruv with the right side, so you can't go to the right. And the same the other way. When you go the other direction, each chatzar answers the other one. Rashi finishes off. Look, if all three would make an eruv together, fine, they'd all be like one. But for the guy in the middle to say, I'm with the left and I'm with the right, but the left and the right haven't joined each other, so he can't join either one. So again, according to the Rabbanan, the people on the outside can carry their items to the inside. That's not a problem. But the person on the inside cannot carry his items to the outside. The Gemara now says, Ki amrisa kame de Shmuel. When I said this in front of Shmuel, Amar li, he said to me, and we'll continue with this discussion in the next video on Daf Memtes Amud Aleph.